What's going on, guys? Samuel Samuel Views here, back with another top 10 list. As today, I am here to discuss another top 10 movies I've changed my opinion on. I actually had so much fun doing my previous list, that's all my channel wanted to now. So I figured, yeah, why not do another list? Why not do another top 10 movies I've changed my opinion on? Movies I liked more about B viewings or less on B viewings. And there's definitely a lot of interesting movies that I definitely went up and down for towards but I'm watching movies, so this is gonna be interesting. So, all in all, hope y'all enjoy this list. Again, I'd love to know what other movies you've changed your opinion on down in the comments section down below. As always, again, these are my personal opinions on the films that I personally change my opinion on, as always. There's always be a special about it, so I'll never be on the bush. Let's get started. The first movie, the first movie I'll be talking about is A Cure for Wellness. Easily honestly one of the most underrated films of the 2010s. This is a film I end up liking when I first saw it. I didn't give it like a B when I first saw it. I thought it definitely has its issues, but it's definitely found I think it's actually much better than most people say it is. And then I ran and watched it again, and it's like, wow, I loved it a lot more, and I loved it more. Basically, it went from a 74 to a B, from a 92 to a minus, to a 96 to B plus. Again, there's definitely a couple of unnecessary scenes and moments that do prevent it from being like a high grade for me, but this movie is honestly incredibly underrated. Everything in terms of its visual style and sometimes it's fantastic. Has a very interesting story, fantastic performances, especially from Dane DeHaan. This movie truly delivers, and it's definitely one of the more underrated movies I have seen on this list. The second one is definitely going to be an interesting surprise, actually, because I actually did end up not liking this movie. I thought it was pretty much an overrated bore fest. But when I'm rewatching it, I ended up falling in love with it. I mean, it's probably it's probably one of the least favorites of this guy's career for me, but it's still a fantastic movie. I will still put it one of my favorite movies of that year, and that is Denis Villeneuve's Sicario. Yeah, so I used to not like Sicario. I used to not like this movie. I don't know what I would have given it, honestly, but I remember not really liking it, honestly. I actually don't remember why, honestly. No, I'm serious. I don't remember why I did not like this movie. I do not remember why I did not like this movie. But I don't know, it's now 108 plus because it's a film I'm definitely not going to want to rewatch anytime soon, or I'm not going to watch much or often. But it's a film that actually does deliver on everything that it goes for. It's definitely a gritty, grimy movie, but it delivers on that. Right now you got gorgeous cinematography, it's what you expect from Denis Villeneuve. Right now you also got fantastic performances, especially from Emily Blunt and Benicio del Toro. A interesting story, some really impactful and powerful moments, some great character development, especially from Emily Blunt. It's a movie that just leaves a crazy impact on you. And I don't honestly remember why I was thinking when I decided to like this movie. I'm sorry, I don't. Anyways, the third movie I'll be talking about on this list is Alien Covenant. This is one of the films where I actually ended up liking it first, but kind of just down on viewings. Because I thought it was underrated when I first saw it, yet suddenly when I ended up rewatching it a few times, it just kind of went down and down. I think it's a pretty bland movie, honestly. I won't say it's like a disaster like some people are saying it is, but it definitely isn't good either, and I don't ever see why. Especially how they kind of mess with the lore of the Alien franchise. That's just, I mean, it's kind of weird that the Alien franchise should really stopped a long time ago, if I'm being honest. I mean, you do get some great performances, especially Michael Fassbender, and there definitely have some good visuals and good moves that do save from being a total disaster for me. But that's not make Alien Covenant, in my opinion, a good movie. So it basically went from a 91 of A minus to around a 46 of a C. And it also could be worse than that, honestly. Now we get to a movie that I also once thought was underrated, but I'm now not a fan of. That is Minions. Yeah, I used to like Minions, but now not so much. I think a lot of it could be done that it was usually on a lot of my house, honestly, because my two nieces that pretty much love Minions, so I mean I could play a part of it, but yeah, I don't know what they're thinking. This movie is pretty much everything is what? and weird as you would expect. Because yeah, Minions just it's honestly just honestly, there's not that much I can really honestly say about them, being honest. Just Minions being Minions, and it's a prequel, and it's not. I mean, there's not really much characters, no substance, and I mean there is some fun moments behind this movie, but the villain's boring. None of the humor really hits. It's just not that great. Honestly, I went from an 89 B plus to a 50 of a C plus. Yeah, it went from a nasty drop. And speaking of another movie that went from a drop, my fifth one I'm talking about is Insidious Chapter 2. Yeah, I still consider it to be one of the more better horror sequels, but I'm definitely not as high on it as I was when I first saw it back in 2015. And this is a bad movie, honestly. It's one of the better horror sequels that come out. I mean, definitely not as good as the first Insidious. I think it's actually a great movie. But Chapter 2, like, it does have some great moments. I mean, you got great performances from Rose Byrne and Patrick Wilson, especially from Lynn Shay as well. They're all definitely some good terrifying moments. Though it can be a bit too goofy, and sometimes they can take away from the horror aspects to it, and it's not really entirely terrifying like what the first movie was, honestly. They do a good job of building tension of the movie. It's just not really as terrifying or as interesting as it really should be, if I'm being honest. That's kind of why I guess that kind of list on when I watched it. I think I gave it like an A minus. I did give it like an A minus when I first saw it, but now I would give it like around a 76 of a B. Still a solid movie. And one of the better horror sequels to come out, but definitely not a great one. Now, in number 6, I'm just going to control not, but that's Bohemian Rhapsody. I'm sorry, I know a lot of people that are into this movie. I know a lot of people that think Bohemian Rhapsody is a great movie and they love it. And I'm just, if you do, that's fine. Like, if you do, that's fine. I'm not trying to change your opinion or anything. I'm not trying to say like, oh my god, like all that. I'm not trying to say that, obviously. Okay, if you love it, that's fine, honestly. I mean, as I always say, I'm glad you guys are just that I clearly can't. I mean, I was already disappointed about this movie when I first saw it. When I saw it the time when it was on my house, it kind of got worse for me, honestly. And I also said when I did my top 10 biggest hot takes list, but I also say that Rami Malek is probably the most overrated performance probably one of the most overrated performances I've ever seen. Probably the most overrated performance I've ever seen, honestly. Not that he wasn't bad in the movie, obviously. It's just he's not really as just mind blowing as a lot of people say he is. And the movie just really comes out as a very generic biopic. And I know there's a lot I couldn't really cover on this runtime, but there's not really a lot of interesting stuff that it has. It just feels like your standard Jim Fox, and that's something that a Queen biopic really should be. And I'm surprised that all the nominations got, especially in terms of that actually won a lot of attention best editing. I'm sorry, but really think that movie won best editing. Like, I'm still baffled by that, if I'm being honest, because I don't think the end was that good, honestly. I think that's one of the biggest downfalls in the movie, to be honest. Okay, there definitely was good moments in the movie, especially the whole Live 8 sequence. That is definitely a great moment. I'm not gonna lie on that. I think that Queen's probably my favorite band of all time. I think there's definitely much more better. Honestly, I think the movie honestly should have worked better than Racers, if I'm being honest. To cover like more ground, honestly. I can't cover more ground in the movie, but I mean, Rocketman did that much better. But I mean, honestly, I still think Jackson should have won that movie, real bad movie. But yeah, Bohemian Rhapsody, I'm sorry. I think I gave it like a 74 review with my original review. But I think now I would give it like around a C plus or a C. Sorry. Now, number 7, we actually get to a DC movie, but this is one that I actually like more, unlike the few I mentioned about Superman and Suicide Squad Justice League, and that is Aquaman. And this movie is on my house. This movie is usually always on a lot of my house, and the movie, so I think the more I watch it, the more I actually appreciate it. It's something one of the more fun superhero movies out there. Might be like Jason Momoa was great, Amber Heard was great, the world building was great, the visual cinematography was great. James Wan did a fantastic job with this world. I mean, that's sure is a lot to really love about this movie. Again, there definitely are some flaws that you can forget about being like one of the absolute top tier superhero movies in my opinion. Like Black Manta, yeah, and the different clever uses of song and how uses music that still kind of irk me when I watch it. But Aquaman is really not just knows what it is and just embraces it, and that's why I always enjoy coming back to it. So I get like a 90 of A minus when I give it a above it up to a 95. Now we get to another drop. But actually, no, these last few movies are pretty much movies that drops for me. And this one I'm talking about is not a huge drop, but still want to mention that is Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. Yeah, a film that pretty much went from 91 A minus original review. I think it was a 91 or 90 original review, but now I would say it's around a B plus. I think around an 80 or I think I'll give like around 80 B plus in my opinion, because, and I feel I'm probably going to feel that more when I watch. I feel that it's one of the movies I think the more I watch it, the more apparent the flaws are going to be. Honestly, I mean, honestly, this happens to a lot of people. If I'm being honest, and honestly, I don't blame them. I mean, it's not as why Rise of Skywalker was considered to be the disappointing conclusion. So it's definitely not as like amazing as the first two movies. I actually love Force Awakens, The Last Jedi. Best of all, isn't really answering again. It's definitely not the weakest of the trilogy, but it's a film I can still have fun with. It's a film I can just watch and have fun with. But I can still see myself as more. So maybe in a future video I might discuss that. But yeah. So again, 91 of an A minus and to an 80 would be plus. Then next up we get to a Disney live action remake, and that is Beauty and the Beast. This event is also not a really huge drop. I think it's probably the least less drop on this list, honestly, to be honest. But it's one that really is not like an A plus movie that I originally thought it was. And that can happen a lot sometimes, honestly, where a lot of people tend to think it's an A plus, but the more I watch it, the more I think, yeah, I don't know why it doesn't A plus. I think but it happens to all of us, honestly. It happens to me more often than you think, honestly, to be honest. But yeah, simple. This movie was 100, but now we get like I think a 95, 96 of an A. I think more because it can drag around the opening sequence in like the past 15 minutes. But this is still definitely a great remake and one that still delivered on my excitement when I first saw it. And also pretty soon, whenever Mulan comes out, I will be. I'm not going to release this, but I definitely will be doing a video about like all the live action remakes. So save that. I'm not sure if I release this before or after them, but I will leave some out there if I did. But yeah. And the last movie I'll be discussing, the last movie about is an Oscar movie that is Brooklyn. Brooklyn. This movie that I honestly kind of wish I actually liked more than I did, honestly. I think I did enjoy when I first saw it, but I like the more I think about it, the more like, what's with Oscar with the movie, honestly? Honestly, what's really memorable, what's really just unique about it, honestly? Just your standard movie, man. It's not saying that it's bad by any means, honestly. I would still say it's a solid movie. Like, it does have script performances, it does have especially when Saoirse Ronan, it does have some gorgeous cinematography, it does have some good aspects to it. But I wouldn't say it's like as mind-blowing or exciting as a lot of people would say it is, honestly. I wouldn't say it's like a unique romance movie. It's just kind of standard, if I'm being honest. Just a solid standard romance movie. That's really the best way to describe Brooklyn, if I'm being honest. I mean, the chemistry of the two people are definitely great, honestly, and rely on that, but it's just not something I want to say it excites me when I think about it. I think I get like a 96 for an A when I first saw it, 2015 or 2016, but now I would give like a 75 for B. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed me discussing another top 10 movies I have changed my opinion on. Again, I would love to note down more into any other more movies that you definitely change movies that you enjoyed more or enjoyed less the more you think about it or while previewings. I would love to know that count in the comment section down below. I have a lot more videos coming very soon. That'll be off my mental break, so be on the look for that. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I truly honestly appreciate it. If you haven't, be sure to like this video, be sure to subscribe, be sure to follow all my social media sites on the description down below. I am saying along more from more the views. I will see you next time, and as always, stay cool, everybody. Peace.